My name is Daron.
And I'm Erika.
And we have had a full refurbishment of our flat.
And it's an industrial style flat in central London, and it was in need of very much updating everything, but also a change of layout was necessary.
I called 3 companies just to get a feel, and at the time we spoke to these companies, we hadn't actually bought the flat. So it was hard in some ways to get builders to engage with us because it could have been a project that didn't happen. But Prestige gave us a lot of time in that early consultations and a good feel of what they thought they could do and importantly how much it would cost. So that was quite important to us. That actually meant a lot by the time that we came back 6 months later to agree to commence the work with Prestige.
What I really liked about them was they had a very clear understanding very quickly of what our vision was, what we wanted and what we needed. Made immediately suggestions of how this could be augmented and turned into reality, which really impressed me.
We were very keen to work with the freehold management company in order to make sure that for our neighbours there was no more disruption than was absolutely necessary. And I think this is something where Prestige did, again, really well. And we have testimony from the neighbours that the guys themselves, they were here, they were polite, they were friendly.
The building site itself was impressively clean, but also what our neighbours obviously appreciated was that the communal areas were kept clean and cleaned up every day.
Yeah, this is very key to us because the freehold company gave us a list of builders' rules which Prestige took on. All the guys on site were familiar. So that took a worry away from us because we just moved in here and we didn't want to get on the wrong side of 15 neighbours before we sat down.
Handing over the keys, I felt really at ease and excited. And yeah, I felt confident that everything will go well, and they did put us at ease, and pretty quickly the work started and everything was in full swing. And a few days in, I was very confident that we had done the right thing. We had some preset ideas of, for example, the kitchen layout, and Prestige made very good suggestions, and I'm very glad in hindsight that we have taken on board their suggestion and changed the original layout that we wanted to their suggestion.
Probably the win that I like is in the bedroom where Prestige regained, they found space, which is quite important.
Yeah, that was really interesting, and the ideas that they had. We have now a stationary cupboard that we otherwise wouldn't have had. Creating
space was something that we didn't foresee, but of course you use this space.
I think we had a few ideas where we were quite focused on and wanted something, and they always made a few suggestions that challenged us and challenged our own ideas. I always felt we were open anyway to ideas, but I think it's really nice to have that and being challenged, because that's in the end what you want, is this suggestion of
somebody else's eye. Yeah, and I think those ideas that they did bring definitely added to what we had, and so we're very pleased with particularly the kitchen idea.
It's a fantastic contemporary space. It challenges the eye in a very pleasant way. It's exactly what we wanted. There are features that are quite unusual, but overall the space is extremely practical, very easy to live in, and immensely enjoyable.
Our wish was to have a good size, good space, breathing apartment that we have now, and I think we achieved it, so we're grateful to the guys for that.
The work that was done on the carpentry is extremely precise. I love that. There are no creaking doors or anything. Everything is very smooth.
Good quality fittings, you said drawers, soft close, magnets,
it's just a joy to live with that.
Best part of the flat for me is we got some angled concrete features under the huge crystal windows that we have, and they were rediscovered They look like they've lived a few years. They've got marks, they're bruised, they're scratched, and in a quite shiny flat that we have here, we kept those concrete breakages, didn't we? Again, it's a nice nod to that history of the building.
So it was Prestige's idea and suggestion to take the ceiling height back to what it originally was, and I thought, yes, it's a good idea, but then seeing the difference it made, I'm blown away, because it actually brings out the windows in the bedroom that were maybe a bit small or seemed a bit small before, and now just it looks right, the proportions look right.
So, you know, the electrics here are quite different actually, and since we mentioned the hall, we've got the LED light, which wasn't our idea, that was a Prestige idea. And it works very well with the other lights that we got with U-Pit actually, which do look great. And that's the track lighting, which kind of sprawls across the ceiling. So
everyone was professional, very friendly, easy to work with, easy to communicate with. They understood easily what is needed, what is wanted, what the vision is, and could translate it. When problems came up, which they do in a build like this, when you rip out everything, it was never a problem. They immediately suggested things that could be changed, or how a solution could be implemented. Because of the pandemic, there were some supply chain issues, and we immediately thought, oh, this will be difficult to overcome, but immediately suggestions were made, and we got, you know, a new plan of how this could work, and it all worked really well.
I'd highly recommend Prestige. I think you would agree.
I would agree. I highly recommend Prestige for any build.
I think Prestige have already got another inquiry from one of our neighbours, so I guess this is how, you know, builders work. If you do a good job, people tell people, and I think it speaks for itself. So, you know, I think we're really pleased with what we did.